Welcome. On International Women's Day, we have a pillar of women in whiskey, Annabel Thomas from Nc'nean with us, a whiskey B Corp brand. Very pleased to have you with us, Annabel. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Rob. It's great to be here.
Could you just talk to us briefly about Nc'nean, perhaps why it's not Muckneen on International Women's Day?
Exactly. Yeah, so Nc'nean is a single malt Scotch whisky distillery that I founded. It's up on the west coast of Scotland. And we say that we have a mission to do two things: pioneer sustainable production and create interesting, light and delicious whiskies. And our name, Nc'nean, is derived from an ancient Gaelic goddess called Nc'nean. She was known as a protector of nature and for walking her own path, and we thought that so nicely summed up what we're trying to do that we picked her to represent us. And a fun fact is, as you said, that Nuc is the female equivalent of Muck. So Muck means son of, like MacDonald, son of Donald. Nuc means daughter of. But because we live in a very society where names are passed down through the male line, no one's ever heard of Nuc.
I think you carefully avoided the P word there. But that's great. And what is I was reading your LinkedIn posts and women in whiskey. What is women in whiskey?
Yeah, so it's a really interesting thing, women and whiskey. There's a lot of kind of, especially in this month, but there's a lot of discussion about women in whiskey. There's a perception that women don't drink whiskey. There's a perception that women don't work in whiskey. There is the perception that women don't like whiskey. Even if you've, like me, spent 10 years working on a business in whiskey, people assume that you must have done it for some other reason, that you actually like drinking whiskey. And there is a very positive growing movement to encourage the change of perceptions in that, because there are actually lots of women in the whiskey industry. There are lots of women that drink whiskey, and these kind of outdated 1950s perceptions that it's something that's too strong for women or whatever else. I don't know, I don't know what people really think, and actually make whiskey in the process much more accessible and inclusive and diverse, and all those other things which it is slightly lacking at the moment.
Yes, yeah, I do remember a beer company that sells dark-coloured beer and struggles with female drinkers. Tried to dye it pink in the 90s, and that's a great strategy.
That is still legendary today. I actually don't know what company it is, but people still talk about the pink beer and how not to market to women.
I'll tell you offline. I think I know the name, but I can't say it.
Thanks.
Yeah. And when we're thinking about B Corp Month, how does all that intersect with the B Corp community? It seems like you don't necessarily need a badge to be going out and with those missions. It all sounds great, but B Corp takes it on.
I think it does, and I think B Corp's been it's a really amazing community for a start. But I think we got B Corp certification in Jan 22, so we're kind of 2 years into it. And for me, it really nicely brought together two sides of what we do. So we talk a lot about the kind of environmental sustainability of what we do. So we're 100% organic. We are made with 100% renewable energy. Even our bottle is 100% recycled glass. But the social side and the people side of B Corp, it's harder to define because you don't get a stamp that says you're organic certified, for example. But we're based up on the west coast of Scotland, a super remote community, and one of our missions has always been to create employment and to encourage, I guess, more general business in that area. So we've now created 11 jobs there, which is amazing, and we're bringing not hordes but some tourism into the area, which then supports other local tourism businesses. And B Corp just nicely brings all of those things together, right? People, planet, and profit. And I first heard about it years and years ago. I was like, that sounds amazing. And now it's this huge, super powerful movement. Loads of UK certified B Corps, but also massive recognition in the US, which as a whiskey brand is also super important. So yeah, it's I think it's really an amazing thing.
Yeah, can't agree more with you on that. And whereabouts
And
in
you
West
guys must.
Scotland?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We are west of Fort William, south of Skye, north of Oban, and opposite the Isle of Mull. So if any of your listeners know where any of those things are, but for a more general perspective, halfway up the left-hand side.
And great for a summer holiday in a...
Great for a summer holiday. Even better for an early summer or late spring holiday, I would argue.
Well, yeah, you heard it here first.
Exactly. That's when to come.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, thanks very much, Annabel. That's a great snapshot of what you guys do. You'll be at the X and Y pop-up bar next week. We'll be publishing details of that, along with a lot of other B Corp brands. And we look forward to seeing you there. And I've drunk my fair share of your products, so I'll be enjoying that even more then. So thanks very much.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers.